Where's my darn yarn?
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 38 of the Dyepod. My name is Petra.
And my name is Robert.
We come to you from Eksjö in Sweden, where we run our little hand dyeing business, Fru Valborg. And you can find us on Instagram at Fru Valborg and www.fruvalborg.se, where our web shop is. So welcome today and welcome Robert.
Thank you, my dear wife Petra.
How are you?
Hi, I am good actually. It's Sunday, so I personally had 2 nights of very good sleep, which means I have much more energy than I had Friday evening.
That's good.
And yesterday we were on a very nice trip in the forest, so that was very nice. So all in all, doing quite well. What about yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. It's really nice with the weekend, even though they always pass too quick. But yeah, we had a nice day yesterday, as you said, and yeah, I have done a little bit of knitting. I took it really slow yesterday, except for being in the forest.
Yeah.
And we watched some series and some football.
We did, and Arsenal won.
Yes, they
Finally.
And I think they even won the last game we were supposed to watch.
Yeah, that's true. We beat Tottenham.
Yeah, someone congratulated you in the comments, I saw.
That's a big game, you know.
Yeah.
Very big game.
Yeah, it's a big game.
So now North London is officially red, as they say, since we are red, and Tottenham is white.
Yeah.
This episode, we will talk a little bit about knitting, of course, which we will start with. And then we will talk a little bit about everyday stuff. But at the end, we have a wonderful, wonderful prize to give out.
Yeah.
Because last time we had a competition, and you could win one of these jam-packed calendars. They don't look very appealing, but inside there is a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. It's
So
just a box.
It's just a box, yeah, but in the box,
Empty
good
box.
stuff. So by the end of the episode, we will pick 2 winners, actually.
Yeah.
We decided to double up. So hang in there, and let's see if you are one of them.
Okay. And I think we're gonna answer our daughter that's calling.
Yeah, just a second.
Well, so
You know, we're recording these pods, and we are, of course, also a very big family. So from time to time, the phones that are lying here start to vibrate and pling and everything, and there is someone who needs our attention.
yeah.
And that was the case this time.
Yes.
Enough about our daughters. I want to talk about knitting,
Me too.
but I want to start with something specific.
Okay.
Because last time, when I was sitting in this very chair, I was wearing a sweater.
Yeah.
And that sweater broke the internet.
It sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of questions. Robert, what's that sweater you got on? It's so beautiful. Can you please tell us the pattern? And of course we can. Maybe I over-exaggerated, but it felt like that because I'm not very famous. So I got at least 4 people asking.
Yeah.
And to me, that's great.
We should have thought about that you had a knitted garment and said it, of course.
We should have. And this sweater, by the way, is a gift from you. Quite some years ago now.
Yeah.
You knitted it for me, and the only thing I remember is that it's made out of yarn made out of hemp.
Yeah, it's woolen hemp. It's I think it's like a tweed yarn from Gale's. I don't remember actually the quality, but it's a DK weight. I know they have also thinner, like a fingering weight tweed. But this was with hemp and wool.
And I like that sweater very much.
It's a really nice yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, however, have any clue what the pattern is, but I know that you have.
It's a Gusten sweater by Anne Budd, and you can find it on Ravelry. No, I don't want to say anymore. I thought maybe it's in a collection of another company, but I don't say anything. Anne Budd Gusten sweater, we will write it here so you can see. Yeah, it's a really nice pattern. I think it's really, really lovely.
Yeah, I like it very much.
Yeah.
So I have 2 sweaters that you've knitted, and I appreciate both of them a lot.
Yeah. There might be more.
Let's hope so. I don't have any socks though, still.
If we have a lot
For the
of years
record.
more to live.
Yeah, and I think you do. I mean, I'm 43, so I have no intention of checking out just yet.
No?
And you're 45.
Yeah.
And I think you have some good years ahead of you too,
Yeah, I hope so.
actually.
I hope so.
So, good that we cleared that out. So now everybody can run and buy the Guston pattern. So that's good.
Yeah.
You, however, have a whole bag of stuff that nobody else but us can see. And I think that you want to talk about what's in that bag.
Yeah, I would like that.
So please.
So, I have one finished object. I don't know, maybe I should start with that one since last time.
Yes, please.
This was a really, really fun project, and I might be last on the ball here with this project, but I loved knitting it, so it has taken all of my time. I think I have not knitted a lot on the other projects but this, so but you know, when you get something fun in your hands, you just feel like you have to knit through it all. So I showed it last time. It is the Vertices Unite by Stephen West. I don't know how far I've come then, or if I just had cast it on. It's a really, really nice shawl. You can keep it, and we can go from
Do a
here.
flyby.
Yeah. So I chose the larger version, and I used my Halo sock base in 5 different colorways, and it is Nutmeg, Hurricane, Clay, Wisteria and Limpet. And you finish it with the longest I-cord edge I have ever knitted. However, I think it only took 2 nights for me. I was really intense with this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really love this. It was so much fun. It was really easy because it's just garter stitch, so you don't have to be, you know, it's kind of a mindless knit in that way. Only knit stitches throughout. And the fun thing is that there are smaller parts, of course, or blocks, and then you pick up stitches and you knit the last next section, and you chose a new colorway or 2 new colorways for the striped parts, and yeah, I love it. I think it turned out really beautiful, actually.
And this is made by Stephen West, correct?
Yes, it is.
And I know, of course, that Stephen West is a very popular designer. And this is your first finished object, at least, from his patterns, correct?
Yeah.
So, then I have a question. Is there anything special with his patterns that you think make them so popular?
Since I have not knitted a lot of them, I can just say it like that, but it's a very well written pattern. It's very clear. He often brings videos or tutorials for all the sections. I know in his call he's doing now, there are a lot of videos and tutorials, and he's a really fun and sweet human being, so he's really fun watching when he does his videos. And it's very clear about things, and then he's very creative, you know, like it's just not a plain shawl. It happens something in a lot of them all the time with different structures and techniques, and I think many people feel they learn a lot when they knit the patterns. As far as I can see of them, at least I would learn a lot of them, because there are a lot of different sections and patterns and structures and things like that. So
okay.
I think he's just a really nice, fun person to watch in that way as well. So I think that, and of course you can make them, you can modify them in a way that he uses a lot of really colorful he's a really colorful. He plays with color in a specific way, and you can also make them more muted or choose other colorways, of course, and personalize them in a way that can maybe fit everyone. So yeah, I think that's why maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's also a nice person.
Yeah,
You've met
he's
him,
a really nice person.
and I've met him too, and he seems like a very nice individual.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes, he is really.
Yeah. Okay. It looks really good. This
Thank
shawl,
you.
I must say.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it actually. And the yarn Halo Sock, as I said, it is a cashmere, alpaca, and silk blend, and it drapes beautifully. And I know a lot of people. I don't know a lot, but some people say alpaca is itchy on their neck. I find it like butter. It's like the smoothest, softest yarn ever, and of course with the cashmere and silk edition as well. But to me, it's like, you know, having a little buttercup around your neck. It's so soft, and the drape is beautiful for a shawl. So I really, really liked knitting this in every way.
But, and I'm gonna say but, the alpaca animal, I don't trust. When you meet a sheep, you can, or now I'm gonna say what I think. Maybe not everybody feels like this. When I meet a sheep, I can see this sheep, and it seems like, you know, the most harmless animal ever. They just walk around there and eat some grass, and you know, nothing special. When I meet an alpaca, it seems like they have some type of a plan, and they want to do something.
I know what you.
And you go.
I can imagine.
You can go up to an alpaca, and I get like I don't feel comfortable because I think they're just gonna, I don't know, attack me or do something. Do you feel the same way, or is that only me?
Yes, a little. I think so. I also think it's because you maybe feel they are a little like llama that actually spits on you if they don't like you, or I don't know why they spit, but if they feel threatened or anything. And I also think it's just because they're just in the height of your face. They're just as high as you somehow, and
they have this look in their face all the time. It's like they look
they
suspicious.
don't have a predictable eye, so to say, but
they're loose cannons, all of them.
Yeah, but they are just they are so cute.
Yes,
you just want to cuddle them. So yeah, I understand what you mean. It's like I have I think the most scary animal that I know is struts.
Yeah, ostrich.
Ostrich.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm terrified of these animals. I feel they have this long neck, and they don't look kind. Not in my eyes, anyway. And I just feel they would, you know, do like this, and just in your face, because they're also just in your area around your face. That's really scary. Okay, a sidetrack.
Yeah. Back to the show. But if any of you, and I just want to say this before you, if any of you can confirm my feelings around alpaca, it would be good if you can just confirm it down here, so I feel that I'm not alone.
Yeah, or maybe they're just the sweetest.
Yeah, or you have the opposite.
Yeah, that would be nice to hear as well.
Yeah.
Because they look really sweet.
They do.
Yeah.
But you can't trust them.
No. Okay, I think I'm taking this off again because it's really hot here.
Yeah.
I'm also wearing my very V-neck raglan by Jessie May. I think I showed it the last time as well, but
you sure did.
Yeah,
this still looks amazing
really, like this. I don't know if you can see. I really like it. However, a friend of mine, an Instagram friend, we have never met in real life, but we write a lot on Instagram. She bought this yarn from me as well and knitted the same pattern. And she posted it on Instagram just the other day. And her neckline was a little, can you say broader?
Yeah,
wider,
wider.
a little wider. I think she added like 2 centimeters extra of this. And I felt a little jealous then, feeling I should have done that as well. Because it is, as it says, very V-neck raglan. And I like a very V, but I don't like if it goes off your shoulders. So
So would you like it if it was more, a little bit more like this?
yes. So I might rip up and add just a few centimeters extra for the V-neck.
Okay.
Or maybe put a little crochet, I don't know, just crochet a simple, almost invisible seam around the neck, just behind, to keep it not to stretch out or whatever. I don't know, but if I'm not too lazy, I think maybe I could knit just a few rows more of the ribbing here. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Anyway, I really like it, and this yarn is also I talked about this as well. It's an untreated alpaca silk linen base in DK, and it's so soft. And I don't know if you can see, the drape is just beautiful on this. It's next to skin soft, and I think it would be a really beautiful shawl as well, or something like that.
Yeah, it looks very nice.
Yeah.
It looks like it's kind of naturally
Flowy.
flows.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's continue.
Back to the bag.
Yeah. I have not shown this in a while. This is a really long-term project.
This was the one, I think, a couple of episodes ago. I said, no, you should show that, and you said, no, I'll take it another time.
I wait a bit, because now I have finished the body up until the arms, where the sleeves should be set in. So this is knitted from bottom up, and you knit the body first. And then yesterday evening, it's not much to show, I just cast it on the cuff for one of the sleeves. So this is in my BFL Massam base. This is the fingering version that has not yet entered the shop, because I have been waiting for this yarn so long. We don't have to talk about that anymore, but this one, the sleeves shall have exact the same pattern as the body. So I'm just starting the first pattern section here and then going all the way up. It's a beautiful pattern. This is such a beautiful knit, I think. It's really beautiful.
Is this going to be a long sweater or more shorter?
It's going to be like to the hip, I think. However, I would have liked it a little longer. I would have liked it under the butt, so to say, a little longer.
Can you do that? Or do you have to keep following the length?
If I would do that, I think I would do it in the end, because then I have to rip up and just come up with another stitch pattern to add here, because this is the patterns that is in the pattern, so to say. So maybe if I could do just one more repeat of this one down here, and then lengthen the body, because I think, if you see, this will end here, something like that, which will make it just to the hip.
Yeah.
And I'm not that fond of sweaters to the hip. I like them to be like this, a cropped one with a tank top under or something, or just a long one where I can have a tank top stuffed in my jeans or something, and a long cardigan, so to say. That's my style, so to say. But yeah, I will see. I will knit the sleeves. They both have to be knitted. And then you put, of course, the body and the sleeves on one long circular needles, and then you knit the yoke up. So, and this is made as a sweater, but I showed it before. I've added some, I I don't know if this looks at all good, but I have never steeked before. I have steeked one, I should say, that turned out really ugly. I think I gave it away to a second hand. Anyway, I added some steeking stitches. I had no idea how many I should have. I think I added like 10 or something.
So you're gonna make it a jacket?
I'm gonna make it as a cardigan.
Yeah, cardigan. Yeah,
in Norway you say jacket for cardigan. So anyway, it will be steeked and cut open. And this is a really woolly but really soft untreated yarn. So I think this will be a really fine yarn to steek for the first time. Yeah. So whenever this will be done, I think it will be really beautiful. But I think I have to lengthen it a bit, actually, and that I would have to do before steeking, of course. So I don't know. I think my stitch, my gauge is way off. I don't know. I'm a really lousy. I just cast on and start knitting. I love knitting swatches actually, but that's just to see how yarn behaves when I get a new base and something. But when I'm supposed to knit a project, it's like I just cast on and hope for the best. So I thought it was kind of wide here, but I really wanted that. But then I thought maybe not too wide up here, so I just switched the needle to a smaller needle when I came up to around the bust or something like that, because I wanted it maybe just a little more A-shaped than like a balloon or something. And I know really kind people wrote to me that actually I talked about this needle when I talked about this before, so I could just go there and see what needle I used. And I think it was a 3 mil. I had gone down to 3 millimeter from 3.25 or something like that. Anyway, so it looks I think this will be like a really nice project when it's done, even though it takes a lot of time for me. So I eventually will get there.
Why do you think that you don't make swatches when you are going into a sweater project?
I don't know actually.
I have a theory.
Okay. Let's make it.
I think that you don't do that because you feel that you kind of have to.
Okay, yeah.
And then you become a little bit teenager and like, no, I don't want to. But when you are sitting just for the hell of it and knitting a swatch, then it's because you decided that you wanted to knit a swatch. Do you think that there is anything to my theory?
Probably. I hate everything that I have to do.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's probably right, yes. Probably right. It's like when I test knit.
Yeah.
I really love a pattern, and then when I'm supposed to test knit, I just drop it all. I just can't find the inspiration. And I think that's just the same, that I feel like I have to do it, and then it's no fun. So it's better for me to just knit it when it comes out, and I can buy the pattern, and then I don't feel any guilt of not being ready.
Is it the same when you start a call?
Yes. Yeah, it's really, I'm hopeless. I don't know, I have to go to therapy for this, maybe.
Nah,
I know it's really
or maybe you
such a lousy personality with that one.
It's not about that. It's just about knowing yourself, I think.
Yeah, true. I should not.
Maybe you shouldn't initiate a call, for
No,
instance,
I
if you
should
know
not.
that you're not going to go through with it.
No. However, I'm very envious with people that join the calls and things, because it seems really fun. But then I just can't keep it up.
Okay, no reason to go any deeper there. A little self-reflection moment.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for
this
sharing.
little session. Yes.
Yeah, it's our therapy session, this pod.
Yeah. True.
Moving on.
Yes.
Turning the page.
We turn the page now and talk about something else.
Yes.
So, The next project is my Maybe Queen sweater.
Queen sweater.
Maybe Queen sweater.
I think you showed this last time too, yeah?
Yes, I think so. I think I just cast it on then. I don't know. I was maybe here. So I have knitted a little bit on this as well. So I'm almost as for the pattern, I'm where to split for the hem. So it's a split hem with the one in front is a little shorter and the one in back is a little deeper. So however, when I hold it like this, I don't feel it's in just as long as I want it. This to me would be like the perfect, Sunday sweater to cast on over a pair of leggings. It's a boxy and just cozy one.
I was just thinking about the discussion we had the other day about what leggings is called in Swedish, in Old Swedish.
Kalasbyxor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a so good word.
Yeah, it's a so good word.
So for people who don't know Swedish, in Sweden, when we were children, instead of saying leggings, you said kalasbyxor, and that means like party trousers.
Party pants.
Party pants, yeah. And it's such a good word. So in the morning when Petra puts on her leggings, sometimes now we joke that she has on her party pants, and it feels good. So that was why I was
better
smiling.
than like PJ, because in my head I always wear a PJ, because I always wear leggings, almost, sometimes jeans, but mostly leggings, and I also wear them as PJ. When I go home from work, I take the leggings
party.
off. It's always a party pants.
So that was why I was laughing.
Yeah, okay.
Back to you.
Yeah. So, anyway, this is how it looks. It has this really fun details. So this is a twisted rib and it goes down on just both on the back and front. I don't know how to show it the best, like this. And you do these fake increases, so like the A gets wider and wider, so to say. I don't know if you can say it like that, but you can see it for yourself. And it has this short rib up here, and it's wider on the back, of course, for the short rows that you do as well. Yeah, but I feel it's a little too short. This is designed that it should go in a bit down and kind of lay on your hips. If you watch the pattern, it kind of the ribbing hangs a little bit on your hips, I think. I don't want that. I just want it big. So I skipped the real decreases. It's like fake and different things in the pattern, but I have not done any decreases for the body, and I hope it will be a little wider. I don't want it to lay on my hips. I want it to just be a boxy, cozy sweater. So I think I have to adjust this and make it like,
But can't you just continue and
yeah,
make it?
yeah, I mean that. I think I will continue maybe like 4 inches or something extra, and then start the splitted hem, so to say. And I also modified it because when you look at the pattern, this seems like it has really, really tiny arms, or sleeves. I always say arms, but because the woman, the designer, has really slimmed arms or whatever. She looks kind of thin, and I don't have thin arms, and they look kind of fitted on her arms, and since I think I don't have that arms, I have to modify it in some way. So I did I don't know how to say, but when you knit this one, it's different increases for the sleeves and for the body. There are more increases for the body. However, I just continued doing the increases on the sleeves as well, to know that I had enough of stitches to pick up for the sleeves later. So I have made maybe 4 or 5 rows extra of increases on the sleeves than the pattern suggests. And I think that was really good that I did that. Otherwise they would have been like, and I don't like that.
Do you think most knitters do like you when you look at the pattern and then you look at you think about what do I prefer and how is my body, and then they adjust stuff, or is that?
I think maybe some people are a little afraid of doing it because you don't actually know how it's gonna end up, of course, because you just modify it. And I also think a lot of people do that because all bodies are so different, and when you look at the model and you see a very it can be big or small model. It depends. It can be different. But if the designer is really thin, maybe, then I can imagine a lot of designers, of course, design on themselves first because they have themselves as a tool to do the thing. And then you maybe have to think about how is my body shaped. Do I have a large or a small bust? Do I have wide or thin arms? Do I have and how do I like a neckline? Of course, me like this little wider necklines. Some want it up here. And do you have like a belly? Maybe do you want a fitted garment for a belly, or do you want it to hang loose, or whatever? So I think it's really great to just. And when you see that, like the project pages for a pattern, there might have been 100 people that already knitted the pattern. That's really good because then you see like all the real people out there having all these different body shapes, and you can like imagine maybe I look a bit like this in my body, then it will fit like that, or so on.
So now I have an idea for a company.
Okay.
And you can take this idea if anybody watching want to do this. I think that there is, if you could come up with a digital tool where you could take a pattern like the one you have here, you load it into that tool, and then you can say, okay, I have a big bust, or I want it to be slimmed in this way or that way, or I have thick or thin arms, and then the pattern would adjust itself.
Yeah.
It would be super.
Yeah. That would be great. It's like when you take a picture of your face and you can try different haircuts.
Exactly.
But you can try different.
So if anybody can come up with a tool like that, with a digital algorithm or something that would adjust the patterns based on your wishes, then I think you can make some money.
Yeah. They might
Here you
be
go. It's a gift from me to you.
There might be good tools out there as well.
If it already exists, you can put it down here and we can have a look.
Anyway, I think just knitting a pattern from start to finish never gives the right measurements of your body.
No.
If it's not like your twin who made the pattern. So I many times modify it. I never write it up. I just add a stitch here and there and hope for the best in that way as well. But it's just a stitch. It doesn't happen that much. If you lose a stitch, not that you have drop stitch, that's not good in your knitting, of course. That would make a big hole. But when I knit, I just end up, I had 5 more stitches than was supposed to in the arms. I'm just, 5 stitches is like this. And you have a knitted garment is not like woven, so it's not, and I'm just, okay. If I need it for a lace pattern afterwards, I just decrease a stitch so it will fit or whatever. Yeah, so I think just knitting, it doesn't have to be science. It's sometimes, of course, it can be that as well, because there are professionals that make patterns, of course. But to me, it should be fun.
It's like cooking.
Yeah.
You have a recipe, but then you're always gonna go a little bit outside of that recipe.
Yeah.
At least if you've cooked for a while.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you hopefully just learn something, or sometimes at least you might learn how to hide an extra stitch. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was that.
That was that.
Mhm.
It's actually a little funny. I want to share something about cooking.
Yeah.
Because I like cooking, as you know. And but it's not something I've enjoyed all my life. It's something maybe the last 10 years I've enjoyed more. And when I got into that phase where I started to explore cooking a little bit, I turned to my father because my father loves cooking. And when I spoke to some other people about cooking, they were saying, you know, yeah, but you just add a little of that, and then you take a little of this and a pinch of this, and I couldn't relate to that because I didn't know what's a little, what's a pinch. But my father, he was very skilled that time because he was always saying to me, okay, you add 2 spoons of this, or 1 deciliter of that, or 1 gram of this. He was very specific, which at that time was great because then I did exactly what he said and the food turned out great. And after a while I got some confidence because then I started, okay, if it's 1 or 2 spoons it doesn't really matter, and I like more 2 spoons. So then I got beyond that threshold. But in the beginning you have to be very specific, otherwise you don't know.
No. Of course, that's like in everything you learn, I think.
Yeah.
So of course, like Picasso was really a great drawer, but then he painted like squares. So it's like I get what you mean.
Yeah.
But I think you should never be afraid of doing a mistake.
No, absolutely not.
Because you learn on mistakes, and sometimes it can work anyway.
Yes.
Even, you know. Okay.
Move over to next project.
Then I will show one of my socks that is done now, and I will. I didn't know what pattern this was last time.
Someone wrote that though.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to say it,
Okay.
because maybe everybody hasn't read the comments.
No.
So this one is done, and I actually casted on the other one yesterday. So this is how it looks. And as I said, I saw this sock on Instagram, and since it is kind of a simple pattern, and with that I mean this pattern is kind of simple. It's, you know, it's just like every other row knits and purls. So I just knitted them, and they looked like the real pattern. However, of course, some of you know this was the Rye Sock by Knit, and we will write it down here. I found it on Ravelry, and it's a free download, so you can just, it's a free pattern. And they have a lot of great patterns, Knit, and you can find other great patterns there as well. But for you who maybe doesn't knit socks yet from your head or whatever, as I do, because I just have one. I just have like a recipe. I always knit that one because then I can just make it as a mindless knit. But for you who want this, it's Rye Socks by Knit. And I used my merino sock in my ramshackle colorway, and I'm really happy about them. So,
Cool.
just wanted to say that. And the next, I actually bought some yarn now.
I know.
I don't know, did I talk about this? I think I talked about this in the podcast with Anna. Okay, anyway, I watch some podcasts here, there and there, and in the latest, they all have knitted the same project, which is the half and half wrap. I guess a lot of you know what pattern this is. Maybe I should just show
Even I
it.
do.
Even you do. It's a pattern by Pearl Soho, and it's got really, really popular. It's knitted in one of their really lovely like linen bases they have. I don't know, I don't remember now what quill. Linen quill is the name of the yarn. Anyway, I decided to knit it in Holst, which is a really nice wool yarn. And so I ordered 2 colorways. I had resisted this shawl a long time because everybody knits it, you know. I can do something else. In the end, everybody was knitting it, and suddenly I had just clicked home some yarn for it. I couldn't resist. I did as everybody else. I decided to cast on a half and half wrap.
Yeah.
So I ordered directly from Holst in Denmark, and I chose, it doesn't look exciting, this knit, when it just...
If you compare that to the Stephen West shawl you just showed,
Yeah.
well,
That's just what's so fun with this shawl, because it's like a square in two colorways. You just knit back and forth in garter stitch. It's like the most but I think that's because we are a lot of knitters that like the mindless knitting. When you watch a Netflix series or whatever, watch a football training with your kids or whatever, something you just cast on. You don't have to wear in the pattern watch what was the next step in the pattern. You just bring it up, start knitting. You don't have to think a second of what you have to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's to me I really like that, because most of my knitting time I actually spend in front of a Netflix series, and then I just feel it would be a little annoying for you if I just sat looking in a pattern all the time and
I would love that.
What happened in
No, you're right, of course.
Yeah, and I need my hands to be busy. Otherwise, I just
You eat them.
Eat them. I'm an eater. So.
Yeah.
I'm a really restless in that way. If I don't knit, I chew my nails off, which is disgusting, I know, but you don't have to write that. I know that already. So anyway, I casted it on. I chose these two colorways. It is, I think they call this Sweet Pea, and this one Tobacco.
Another daughter calling.
Yeah, Svara.
Just a second. Where were we?
You disappeared from now. So we were on the Holst wool, and I showed you this. I think this is Sweet Pea, and the other one is Tobacco. So yeah, that's will be. I think this is a huge shawl. So this is just a great project to pick out when you don't have your mind space for a difficult pattern, maybe, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
How
that would
big
be great.
is it? Like 1 square meter, or how big is it? Have you made half of this pink now?
No.
Purple?
No.
No?
Maybe I have knitted 1 of 5 balls of this. So there are 10 balls.
Wow. So it's gonna be
5
like
of each colorway. It's
pretty
gonna
big.
be pretty big. More like a schlanket. Many people call it schlanket.
Schlank.
Like a shawl and blanket. Yeah, this is really nice yarn. It's a lot of lanolin, and it's a really it's kind of an unwashed base, so it feels really doesn't feel that smooth, but when you washed it, it feels much it gets much softer and woolier. So yeah, that's one of my projects that I could not resist.
No?
No.
I understand the whole what did you call it? Mindless knitting. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Actually, I spoke today with my sister.
Yeah.
And my sister has started knitting.
Wow.
Susanna, if you're watching, we got you. And she said to me that she was on her 3rd sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she hadn't knitted since she was a teenager in school. So it took a little while to get back on the horse, but after watching some Google and YouTube, she made her way. And she said the same thing, that she really gets calm when she's knitting. So I don't think she is knitting the very advanced pattern stuff that you showed before. Probably more like the last one.
Yeah.
I would guess.
But you know, it fulfills a purpose in that way, I think.
Yeah.
I think many people might think that watches us knitter from afar, so to say. You know, we just sit, and how can you? I don't have the And many people say they don't have tålamod, patience to do that, just sit and knit. However, I think it's just like the opposite. I think a lot of us knitters has a little too much maybe energy, or you kind of restless, and the knitting makes us be able to calm down. You know, if we sit down and dinner when we have visitors, it can be our best friends. When we have sit like an hour or so at the dinner table, I start, you know, I'm just I feel really uncomfortable. I love it because I love the people that comes and everything, but you know, I just can't. I have a hard time sit down just talking. And then I start chewing on my fingers, as I said, or whatever I have to do. You know, I feel, I can sit, I have ache in my butt or whatever. It's like, so I think it's not the patience, it's kind of the opposite, but if you know what I mean. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, but people are different, you know. Yeah. Some people have other things they like to do.
Of course they have.
Good thing is that you do what you like.
Yeah. Anyway, I have one more project, and then I have other projects.
Yeah.
It's never ending today.
No.
So the last one is this. I have knitted one before. It's the Vuono hat by Ronja Hakkaleto from Finland. I think this is my favorite hat pattern actually. So this is how it looks. This will be like a double folded brim, like this, and when it ends the pattern comes. I think you can see a little here how it looks. It's a one strand of mohair and one strand of my silky ox singles in these colorways. It's a kind of cold brown and this variegated one in different shades. And this is a knit I just keep at work. So when I have a lunch or so, I can just take a row here and there. So I don't bring it back and forth to our home. And I really like this pattern. We write it down here as well. But I think you knit it on a 4 and then 5mm needle. And you keep one fingering and one mohair together. And it's a beautiful, easy stitch pattern, but it looks really, really nice. So that's the Vuono hat.
Nice. Yeah, I recognize it. You said you've knitted it before.
Yeah.
It makes a nice hat, for sure. You have some, you said, I have some other projects too.
Yeah.
What is that? Are you not going to knit, or are you going to show that you've made something else?
Yeah,
Model
I fall down another rabbit hole.
Yeah?
Yeah?
What is it? Model airplanes?
It's not a new rabbit hole, of course, because I have done it before as well, but I'm in the middle of spinning again, and that's not on a bike.
I do that, however.
You do that, yeah. I could never do spinning, I think.
3 times a week, spinning. Like it.
To me, if I take the bike just down to the city, which is like 3 minutes from our house, I'm really, really annoyed in my thighs. I think I'm no good at biking.
No?
No.
I'm a little bit better.
Yeah, you are a lot better.
Yeah.
Anyway, spinning.
So it was, you're in a rabbit hole and then you come up and this is the rabbit hole just next to it, right? It's really close. And then you fell down into that one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I have my Ashford Kiwi 2 that I got from you when I turned 40.
Yeah.
And sorry for this, sorry for that noise. So I spun a nice yarn, I think. It's a 2-ply. I think it's like a light DK weight, just watching it. I bought some really lovely wool from Yara Fibers. We'll write it here as well. I think she's from German. I was really looking for some nice like art bats in Europe, so I didn't need the whole VAT, no, not VAT, but customs and things like that. And I found a lot on Etsy, many really talented, these hand-painted wools and things like that. So I bought a few hectos of her. To say hectos. Yeah. Anyway, this is one of them. It's a really pale, it's a merino silk blend, but the silk is in these naps of colors, so to say. It's really beautiful. It was a really, really beautiful wool. I don't know actually if I made the art bath justice with this game.
I think you did.
When it comes and it looks like this, I should pull it out, not to. This is how they come, and they look, they look stunning. This is really, really beautiful. And then they turn out to this. I don't know if...
and to be clear, this one didn't turn out to this.
No, of course, because that was another
She
color.
didn't do it that much injustice.
No. But I'm this is just a plain 2-ply DK weight. Maybe I should done some artwork. And you can see I have watched a lot of YouTube movies of this. When you do like this art yarns, you make them thin and thick, like slab yarns or whatever. And I've just made this plain 2-ply. Like I felt really uncreative here. But since I'm like a beginner, I'm not that good. I'm kind of good now to make the single ply kind of even and thin and things like that. But I don't have the knowledge yet, to do. Or if I did like this art yarn, what should I knit of it? I want to knit of it anyway. So I'm maybe not that creative in that aspect of spinning yarn yet. But the wool is just gorgeous, I think. It looks so, so pretty. It's a little sparkle in there. Oh, it's really nice. I have to show the other colors as well. This also looks really, really nice. You see? Oh, it's really nice. So Yara Fibers, which is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and these were the colors that I bought then. But I would love to get some inspiration what to do with these hand-spun yarns.
Maybe you should knit something.
Yeah, of course I should. But what?
What?
What do you do? If you are a spinner, what do you knit with your hand-spun? And how do you think about it? And have you any good videos? I watched a video now with to make this 3-ply yarn. I think it calls chain ply. When you chain ply, then you just spin up like 100 grams on one bobbin, and then you do it 3-ply. You work like a chain, something like that. So that will be my next step to learn. Actually, I think I have watched a lot of movies now, so I think I got the hang of it, how it's supposed to be anyway.
Yeah.
Because when you do it 2-ply, you have a little, if you don't spin exactly even, there's a little left on one bobbin when the other ends, if you know what I mean. And then you don't know, it's a shame when you buy this lovely wool and there's just some left and you don't know what to do with it. So I think maybe chain ply, you just spin everything up and then you make it like a 3-plied yarn would be a better way to use up all the beautiful wool that you have. But if you have any thoughts about spinning or whatever, I'm really interested because I really think it's fun.
Yeah?
Yeah. So that's just what I wanted to show. Oh, I love that! Look. Ooh, it's like a candy
you want to eat
store.
them?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a candy store. And then I, of course, buy candy colors that I don't many times use, maybe just because you just want to eat them.
So that was a lot of knitting stuff.
Yeah.
You are very productive at the moment.
Yeah. Kind of.
Kind of, yeah. Have you done anything else than knitting then the last 3-4 weeks, Petra?
Now I'm really in the mood for I don't remember.
No?
What have we done? We have. I know you're thinking of something now, but I don't remember.
I remember a lot of things.
I have to dig deep and think a little extra before I just actually remember what I have done.
Mm.
But no, can you tell
For
me
instance,
what we have done?
last weekend we had a really fun night out on the town here.
Oh yes, we had.
We did some dancing and yeah, with your sister and also Clara.
Yeah, that was a really fun night.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it was like the first time we actually went to a place like that where you could dance a little. It was only us dancing, so it was not a...
That's true.
But it was us and my sister and our oldest daughter that went out, and that was really fun.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah, it was a really nice evening, and yeah.
We also went on a show.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
We have our children likes the show with Wahlgrens värld. It's like a famous family in Sweden.
Like a reality show.
Yeah, like a reality show. I think maybe it's mostly Benjamin Ingrosso and Bianca. That's most popular with our children though. But Pernilla Wahlgren came to have a show in Eksjö, just where we live. So we went to that one on that Friday evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I thought it was really, really fun. I was a little skeptic first because I don't know what this is called in English, but buskis, it's like a sort of show or humor.
Like a slapstick humor,
Yeah,
little
something
childish.
like that. Yeah, and sometimes I think that can be really silly and a little more like uncomfortable than yeah. Anyway, this show I thought it was really fun. I actually laughed out loud a lot of times just because there's specific one, and his name is Ola Forsmed. He's like this really, really fun comedian, and his face, his expressions in his face is so much fun, and he made these really fun characters that I just laughed out loud.
Yeah.
It was really fun. So yeah. Yeah, it was nice, and it doesn't happen that much in Eksjö. So when it comes, you feel like you can sponsor it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun that something happened in our small little town. So.
We also decided to go abroad.
Yes, we did. For the first, you can.
We are going to Norway.
Woo!
Yes, finally.
Yeah.
The curse has been broken. So the other week we decided that we want to go now. It's been, almost, it's approaching 2 years in January since I saw my mother and sister and her family, and my father I saw a little bit later, but not much. So we wanted to go for a long time, and now we're all more or less vaccinated. Our kids are getting vaccinated and things are changing.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, let's do it now. So we booked some tickets on the ferry, and we could borrow my sister's summer house to sleep. And then we're going. So we're going in, was it 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think
1.5 weeks?
Yeah, 1.5 week.
Yeah.
We have this autumn break for a week in the schools in Sweden, and it's week 44 this year, and so all the children are free, and we decided to just go and visit.
Yeah. So that will be really nice. I'm very much looking forward to that.
It will be really fun.
Yeah, and I heard from my sister today, on the Saturday that we are there, they had tapas night in the Valle restaurant. So I said,
that's
you just
really
go
good.
ahead and book us, sister.
Yes,
We are
that's
coming.
perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be really, really, really nice.
For sure. And it's going to be so nice to see my family again, to see my home country again, and the place that we are staying is a place called Valle, which is the place where my sister has her summer house. And this is also where my parents used to have a summer house for all my life, which they've now sold to my little bit my regret, but that's life.
Yeah.
They have, however, bought a house there instead.
Yeah, it's really nice there.
Yeah. So for me, that place is like it's a very special place to me personally, and to now spend some days there again is wonderful.
The kids are really longing to go there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it will be really fun, and it will be nice with some day, like vacation day, just traveling away. The only thing we have to vaccinate Loke as well.
That's
have
right.
you called about that?
I have not. Good that you reminded me. I need to do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know, when you're of course living with a dog, they have to get this. I don't know if it's
a vaccine.
called vaccine. Yeah,
Yeah, there's some disease.
Yeah.
Some that they I think they get from a fox or something, and they don't want to have that in Norway, so you need to vaccinate your dog.
Yeah. And we, as you said, are almost just our youngest. She turns 12 in December. In Sweden, we started to vaccinate down to 12 years old, but the 12-year-olds have to wait until their birthday. So otherwise, our 16 years and 20 years old, they are of course done. And of 14-year-olds, they got their first shot. And we are done, of course, but so we are almost there, everybody as well. So that's really good, I think. Really nice.
For sure. Yeah, so that we also decided. So you see, there are stuff happening. You've also had an open house here.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And you have another one coming up. So we are doing a lot of things, my dear.
Yeah, that's really nice, actually. Something.
Now I think we've spent a long time talking about, you know, and this and that and knitting.
True. It's time for some real stuff.
Yeah, it is time for some real stuff. And you know what that means, huh? Today!
Coffee! No.
No, not coffee. Beer! Today we are going to...
Italy!
Yes.
Yes!
Italy.
Yeah.
And we have been to Italy. We love Italy.
Yes, we do.
We spent a lovely summer there some years ago. And I think we all want to go back. So Italy is a very nice country. I've spent quite a lot of time there myself. And my best friend is Italian, or half Italian at least. So it's been a part of our lives.
Yeah.
We like the food, we like everything there. And now we've found the beer. And luckily, you know, as always, I go to the little beer shop in the special shelf that you don't even know exists. And I found the beer from Italy.
Yeah, it's great.
And it looks... I don't know, it doesn't look like, wow, you need to buy me. It looks quite dull, to be honest, if I'm showing it here. Let's see. It's called La Mancina. And it's from a brewery called Birrafizio del Forte, something like that.
Yeah.
Not sure on the pronunciation there. From the north of Italy, in a place 20 or 30 kilometers from Pisa. I've been to Pisa. Have you been to Pisa?
No, I have not.
No. Nice place. They have this, you know. But the brewery is 10 years old. I don't know how to read Italian, and I tried to look at their Instagram page, and there is this translate button there, so you can understand what it means. So I understood some of it, but it's a small brewery. It's 10 years old. They're very passionate, of course, about taste and so on, and they make beers like classic beer tastes, but then they make it in their way.
Okay.
They're also very adamant about combining beer and food. So this particular beer, La Mancina, goes well with meatballs, apparently.
Okay.
Italian meatballs, nonetheless, but still meatballs. And there is also a little story behind the name La Mancina that I found out just by coincidence. And what is that story?
I don't know exactly the story, but the thing that it was called La Mancina was anyway that there are an Italian football player called Mancini.
Roberto Mancini.
Roberto even. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if this beer is called La Mancina because of him or if they just made this connection afterwards. But anyway, they made this connection on their own Instagram page. And Roberto Mancini, he is now coaching, I think, the Italian national team.
Okay.
But when I grew up, he was a good football player, which back then played for my favorite Italian team, Sampdoria. I told you this before, but you probably don't remember. It was a funny story about Mancini in Sampdoria, because when they had this legendary coach who built a very good team back then, and he was so passionate about his football team that in his house he was a rich man, so he had this big portrait of his family, and it was him and it was his wife, and in the middle of him and his wife he had put a picture of Roberto Mancini.
That's great.
To his wife's big frustration. Anyway, the beer is a Belgian style ale. So, not really sure what that means, but it's a tasty one for sure.
We hope so.
We hope so. And let's see. But it's made in their way, of course. I'm a little bit... Ooh, it has a good smell.
It's really light.
Yeah. So, I'm curious because many times in Italy when you buy like a conventional beer, it's more like a lager, kind of light touch to it. I think this one is different though. So it looks nice, it has a good foam thing as well. Please, smell it.
It smells a little flowery and fruity, I think.
You are so developed now. Before you said it smells beer, now you can put a lot of good words into it.
Yeah.
You're evolving.
Okay, can I taste now?
You can.
Okay. It's really good.
Oh yeah?
It's a little sweet. It tastes a lot of humle, I think. What is the name
I
of
don't
humle
know.
in English?
Oh no.
No, we don't have that in English. But it tastes a lot of humle, I think.
Yeah, I'll Google that. Can't remember what it is. Just a second. Now you need to small talk about the beer.
It has a really rich taste. It's a lot of beer, so to say. It's a little like they made the old beers, I think, with when they just maybe used like 2 or 3 different ingredients. I don't know what you say that. You don't say old beer.
It's called hops.
Hops. Okay.
It smells hop.
It tastes a lot of hops, I think. Like the old style way of doing beer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, it has this.
It is a little fruity taste, I think.
But they're very hoppy, like you say. Hop is like. It's hard to explain, but you taste it when you taste it. You can taste it. It's tasted in a particular way.
It's like mjöd, maybe. It's a lot of hop. It's a lot of taste, like
but mjöd was more. It was more sweet. It was a little honey and stuff.
I get it, but I think that was kind of sweet and a little fruity. Yeah. But it was really good. I thought it was good. Yeah.
In taste.
And I think that's a beer that you actually would like something to eat too.
Maybe.
Because it's got a lot of taste.
Italian meatballs would be nice.
Yes, Italian meatball. That's
for instance
the first thing I thought about.
My Italian, or he's not Italian, he is Swedish, but his father is Italian. Antonio, my best friend Antonio. His family, they make something called polpetta, which is these big Italian meatballs in like a tomato sauce. And they are so good. So good. With a lot of garlic and tasty.
That sounds really, really great.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one of the best things with traveling, that you get, like this food. Culture and the food.
And the smell.
And the smell, yeah. That's something I can really, really long for now, when you haven't been away for a long while. When you jump off a train or an airplane or whatever, and you just feel another air. It's like hits you. It smells different. It feels different. It's everything. You just feel like, okay, now I'm not in Sweden. I'm in a different country.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like a freedom feeling or something.
For sure.
I really love that one.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, still, Sweden is a fantastic country.
Oh, of course it is. Of course, absolutely.
Yesterday, when we were out in the forest, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I love traveling too, and I love it. I agree with everything you said. I also think that more and more, the older I get, I appreciate the things we have here. So just being able to take a walk like we did yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have nature all around you.
Yeah.
There is a barbecue place. It's a water there. It's beautiful.
That's true. True.
Yeah. Okay, two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
It's time to grade this baby then.
Okay.
What should we grade it with?
You can just have some scales.
Yeah. That's 4, 5. Okay. So Petra.
Yeah.
My wife and friend. La Mancina from Birrifico del Forte in Italy. What is your verdict in terms of plies? Yeah, take it one more. How many plies?
I think it will get 3 plies. It's
And
a very rich beer.
I understand that.
Yeah.
This is not the beer that you just drink down without thinking.
No.
It needs reflection.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the taste then? You have 5 scales here.
The taste will get, I think it will, I don't know, 3 or 4.
Ooh.
I could say in between. I think it was really great, even though I like the beers that not does have this really rich hop taste, or what did you say?
Yeah, okay. I have to respect that.
I think I give it 4. I give it 4.
Be honest.
I give every beer 4.
Be honest.
3. I give it 3.
You see my face?
You're a little disappointed now.
Yeah. Okay, but
Yeah.
I respect that. It's
Yeah.
your taste.
Yeah.
Taste is individual. You know, just
Yeah.
because you say 3, I could say 5.
Of course you
Or
can.
someone else can
Yeah.
say 1. We don't know.
No.
Anyway, it was nice trying it.
It was.
And I can say to the people, to the people looking at this, if you like a beer that's very rich in taste,
Yeah.
then this is a good one.
The thing is, this is a really special beer. It doesn't taste like all the other beers.
No.
So it's just that when you're used to a special taste, for me, I drink mainly like the common IPA. I'm not used to that really rich taste. So,
No.
but I think it was really good anyway.
And it's nice to find these breweries that are like this, also in countries where you're not used to seeing breweries like this.
Absolutely.
I think the whole craft beer is booming all over the world. It's a little bit like knitting. You have all these hand dyers and all these.
Yeah, all the handicrafts
Yeah.
things. I think is booming around the world.
Yes, for
actually.
sure.
People think now they really need something great to do. I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for
Thank you.
participating.
Thank you.
La Mancina. Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm done now with the beer section.
Yeah.
And I hope I put my faith in the local beer shop that they keep adding new exciting beers from the world so we can bring it in here.
Yeah.
Time to wrap it up, my dear. We have a competition
Yes, we have.
to conclude. So, last time we had a competition and we put it at the very end of the podcast, and some of you maybe thought, that's the way they thought it out. That's not true. We forgot it. And we came up with it just before we were going to shut off the camera.
Yeah.
Anyway, we put it at the end and we were not sure, maybe nobody watches this.
No.
Boy, were we wrong. There were so many people interested in participating.
Yeah.
So I think we got around 200 people who wanted to participate.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and you wrote so many nice comments about all the places and why you wanted to leave, or your wishes or thoughts about things, which was really, really nice to read.
For sure.
And we all have so many different wishes, what we are able to do, or travel, or not travel, or whatever. So it has been really nice reading them, actually.
Yeah. And rest assured, we read every word that you
Oh,
write.
yes, we do.
We try to
Absolutely.
reply to most of them. Maybe sometimes we don't, but I think we reply to most of them.
Yeah, I think there were some new ones.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Everything
we have
is
read,
being read.
them all. We always read them all, and it's really, really fun reading all your wishes and thoughts. We saw kind of a theme, I think. We saw a lot of people wanting to go to, like, do you say Great Britain?
Yeah,
Of the
yeah.
whole? Yeah, it's like Scotland, Ireland, England, Shetland Islands, all the places around and it was the beer, the nature. I think it was kind of a little. I think the percentage of the people was a little higher that thought about that those places.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then there was another camp with more Spain, Portugal, nice hot places. So,
Yeah.
for sure. But there was a lot of
And some people that didn't want to travel,
Sweden.
like they really wanted to stay at home,
Yeah.
and they thought that was really nice, and that's also great. Travel doesn't have to be far. Sometimes maybe it's just a wish or a thought or something. So yeah, we got a lot of different. It was really interesting reading them.
And I think that's the fun thing with travel, just what you said. You can of course travel to the other side of the world, and it's very exotic and exciting and new. You can also travel 2 hours by car to somewhere in your own country, or even 10 minutes, and enjoy that as much.
Yeah, visiting a friend or whatever.
Or you can travel in here
Yeah.
with your fantasy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have some winners.
Yeah.
And I have them in my phone here. We did it in the scientific and fair way, that we put together the number of the people who responded, and then Petra has a magic
Random number generator.
Yeah, so
This
you
is a little app.
click a button, and then there is a number,
Yeah.
and that number corresponds to the person with that contribution. Okay. And as you said, we don't have one winner. We have
No, we
two,
actually chose to take two this time.
because of your interest. You wanted this.
Yes.
Yeah. So
When so much people join, I think it's just. I wish I could give everyone a little.
everybody wins.
So anyway, two winners. It will be this time.
Do you want to announce the first one then?
Yes. So
Wait.
the first one, I think could this be a Danish woman?
It could very
If I
well
say
be.
it in Danish, Annelise Prest. That was kind of
Daustu.
Danish. Annelise Prest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be totally wrong. This is not a Danish name. Anyway, she would take a round trip in Sweden together with an old friend. That wasn't. It was planned, but it didn't make that as due to Corona, of course. Yeah, she might be come to Sweden then. And she also mentioned, as I also said, about the tin can socks, but we already mentioned that. But anyway, congratulations, Annelise,
Yes.
to one Fru Valborg advent calendar.
Please.
Or Jan calendar, actually, we should say maybe. If you maybe don't celebrate Christmas.
So
So
please
that's,
send your
yeah.
address information to us, and then something nice is on the way to you.
Okay. And the next one is, where is it? Okay, the next. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. So, and the second one is Sara Stork.
Yeah!
Yay! She wrote in Swedish though. Thanks for a great pod. And she thinks it's good to practice some English. I think so as well. I need to practice my English all the time. Her dream travel would be to Cuba and Havana, and I have actually been there as well.
Yeah, you have.
I thought it was a great place. Yeah, it was a great place. I really liked it. It was such a beautiful nature and things. I don't know if I should talk more about traveling.
Please.
But I thought it was interesting, you know, when you come as a tourist to Cuba, I thought maybe it both felt a little good and a little bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were, you know, like kind of these fancy hotels. It was kind of surrounded with fences and things.
Yeah.
So you felt a little, you know, and you could not use the common valuta, the money. Currency. You had to use your, I thought it was maybe euro then or something, but they had theirs. Dollars, dollars of course. Yeah, it was like you were in a little other part of the actual country, so to say.
Mm.
And but when I was there, and that was many years ago now actually, but we actually met a waiter that was Cuban, and we started to talk with him a lot, and he was such a nice person, so he took us out of this, you know, tourist places. So we got home with him driving in his car to the other side of Cuba and visited his family and his daughter and his wife, and he showed us and talked a lot about Cuba, and she also you know, this Grisbukten, I don't know.
Bay of Pigs.
Bay of Pigs, he showed us there, and I'm really into ceramics then and now of course, but that's what I studied then. So he took us he had an old friend that were ceramics that had his studio that I could see, and they had like this completely other technique that he worked with. He kind of, I have only thrown on a wheel, you know, like this classic wheel, but he had this kind of hand thrown in. It was really, really interesting to see. So we hang out with this waitress, I don't know. Waiter, yeah. He cleaned and things on the
cool
as well on the hotel. But yeah, so that was a really nice trip anyway.
Sure.
And then he brought us to these places with his friends where we could and we paid for it of course. But they made really good seafood and things, and you can come as a private person to pay there. And that was really nice. I loved Cuba in that way, when you got out to see the real Cuba, so to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a lot of rambling about
Cuba.
Something really else.
Anyway, it's on topic.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, congratulations, Sara Stork. So, Sara and Annelise, please write. The best thing I think is if you write me an email on info@fruvalborg.se, so I can respond to you on an email and get your address and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think it's really fun with giveaways. I think we will have some more of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should.
Yeah.
Okay, time to wrap up then, Petra.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to say to conclude this episode?
No, I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing and commenting and taking your time to spend with us. And we're really, really grateful. And I hope you get a lovely week and a lovely time until next time we see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take care of yourselves.
Take care.
If you can, someone else too.
Yeah, that's great.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here